Have you ever held a nickel in your hand and thought it might be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a small 5-cent coin minted decades ago in 1959 with a tiny D mint mark could be hiding a secret that turns it into a collector's goldmine? Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1959 D. Jefferson 5-cent nickel, a coin that has stunned collectors with a current market value soaring to an astonishing $73,928. This is not just a coin, it's a piece of American history that could make you rich if you know what to look for. Historical background of the Jefferson nickel. Let's take a quick trip back in time. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that had been in circulation for 25 years. The design featured the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse. Created by sculptor Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel would go on to become one of the most iconic and enduring coin designs in American history. Fast forward to 1959. America was riding a wave of post-war prosperity. Alaska had just been admitted as the 49th state, and the automobile industry was booming. In the middle of all this, the Denver Mint produced over 160 million Jefferson nickels with the year 1959 stamped on them. Among these, one particular coin would emerge as a standout, a single 1959 D nickel that defied all odds. Why the 1959 D nickel is so special? So what makes the 1959 D nickel worth nearly $74,000 today? After all, over 160 million of them were minted. It comes down to condition, rarity, and die quality. While most coins from that mintage have long since entered circulation and show heavy signs of wear, there exists one known example that stands in virtually perfect condition, graded MS 67 by a top professional grading service. This particular coin is flawless. Its luster is sharp. Its strike is deep. And most importantly, there are no nicks, scratches, or signs of handling. When a coin reaches this level of perfection, it transcends its face value and becomes a prized artifact of minting excellence. Only a few examples have ever been found in this condition. And collectors are always willing to pay a premium for that perfect specimen. It's not just about the coin itself. It's about the story, the rarity, and the beauty captured in a small, metallic disc. The record-breaking sale and current market value. Now, let's talk numbers. The most famous 1959 D. Jefferson nickel in pristine MS 67 condition shocked the numismatic world when it sold for a staggering $73,928. That's right, a nickel worth almost 74 grand. This sale cemented the 1959 D. nickel's place in history as one of the most valuable coins in the Jefferson series. What's even more astonishing is that this coin didn't have any unusual errors or double dies. It was simply in such immaculate condition that collectors went into a bidding frenzy to own it. Today, if you're lucky enough to find a 1959 D. nickel in high uncirculated condition, especially MS 65 or higher, it could fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But one in MS 67 condition is the true gem. Its current market value stands at $73,928 and rising. With growing interest in rare coins and the steady demand from elite collectors, this price could climb even higher in the coming years. How to spot a valuable 1959 D. Jefferson nickel. If you're wondering whether you might have one of these valuable nickels sitting in a coin jar, listen closely. Here's what to look for. First, check for the year 1959 on the obverse, just to the right of Jefferson's portrait. Then, look just below the date for a small letter D, indicating it was minted in Denver. Next, inspect the coin's condition carefully. Look at the fields, the flat areas, for any signs of wear or scratches. The sharper the detail, the better. Examine the steps of Monticello on the reverse. Coins with full steps are especially desirable. If you believe your coin is in excellent condition, consider having it graded professionally. Also, be on the lookout for signs of a proof-like finish. Although the 1959 D. nickel was not struck as a proof coin, A few exceptional pieces have mirrored surfaces that shine like proof strikes, adding to their value. What this means for coin collectors: the story of the 1959 D. Jefferson 5-cent nickel is more than just a tale of unexpected fortune. It's a reminder that treasures can hide in plain sight. A coin that millions of Americans once used to buy candy or pay for a bus ride has now become a rare and valuable prize, worth tens of thousands of dollars. For coin collectors and treasure hunters, this is your inspiration. Check your change. Search your old collections. That unassuming nickel could be the key to unlocking your next big payday. So, if you come across a 1959 D nickel in pristine condition, don't spend it. Save it. Get it graded. And you just might find yourself holding a piece of American numismatic history worth over $73,000. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins hiding in your pocket change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss a coin that could change your life. Drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever come across a rare nickel or had your coins appraised. Until next time, happy coin hunting! Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today's episode will blow your mind as we dive deep into the incredible story of a 1961 D. Jefferson 5-cent nickel coin that's worth an astonishing $49,867 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. A nickel minted over 60 years ago is now a small fortune waiting to be discovered. So grab your magnifying glasses and coin jars, because this is one coin you do not want to overlook. History of the 1961 D. Jefferson nickel. Let's begin with the origin story of this fascinating piece of American currency. The 1961 D. Jefferson nickel was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small letter D that appears to the right of Monticello, Jefferson's iconic home, on the reverse side of the coin. That year, over 229 million nickels were struck at the Denver Mint, making it one of the more common mintages in the Jefferson nickel series. However, the sheer number of coins produced does not tell the full story. While most of these nickels were circulated and worn down with use, only a small number survived in pristine condition. And among those, just a few contain striking characteristics that make collectors go wild: errors, die varieties, and the rarest of them all, the ultra-high-grade specimens that have been preserved in nearly flawless mint state. The Jefferson nickel itself was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. While the design remained mostly unchanged for decades, the quality of the strike varied from year to year and mint to mint. That's where the 1961 D stands out in specific cases, especially in coins struck with fully defined steps on Monticello. The level of detail and preservation can command astronomical prices. Rare characteristics and why this coin is worth a fortune. Now, let's get into what makes a 1961 D. Jefferson nickel worth nearly $50,000. The answer lies in three key factors: condition, strike quality, and rarity. First, condition is everything in coin collecting. A 1961 D nickel in circulated condition may only fetch a few cents to a couple of dollars. But when a coin is in mint state condition, especially graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, it enters a whole new level of value. For example, a coin graded MS-67 or MS-68, which means it has virtually no flaws and is in stunning condition, is extremely rare for the state. Second, we have to talk about full steps. In the world of Jefferson nickels, a designation called full steps is highly sought after. This means that all 5 or 6 steps at the base of Monticello are fully visible and well-defined. These full-step nickels are rare because striking the coin with enough detail to show all the steps required perfectly aligned dies and very little wear, something that rarely happened, especially in the 1961 D issue. Now imagine finding a 1961 D. Jefferson nickel with full steps in nearly perfect condition. That's exactly what collectors dream about. One such coin, graded MS-67 with full steps, sold for a jaw-dropping $49,867 at auction. Why? Because it combined absolute rarity, flawless condition, and exceptional detail, a true trifecta in the world of numismatics. The current market value and what's the current market looking like for the 1961 D5-cent nickel? As of now, lower-grade examples are still relatively common and affordable. You can find circulated ones for just a few cents above face value. Even uncirculated examples without the full steps designation may sell for anywhere between $5 and $100, depending on the grade. But once you cross into full steps territory, the price jumps dramatically. A certified MS-65 full steps nickel from 1961 D might fetch several $100s. MS-66 examples have sold for over $1,000. And those extremely rare MS-67 full steps coins? They're pushing toward $50,000 and beyond, depending on the eye appeal and auction demand at the time of sale. It's also important to note that prices are rising. As more collectors become aware of these hidden gems, demand is increasing and top-tier coins are getting harder to find. This means the 1961 D Jefferson nickel, especially those with full steps and high grades, will likely continue to appreciate in value over time. Tips for finding one in your and so how can you find one of these valuable coins? Start by digging through old jars, rolls of nickels, and bank-wrapped rolls from your local financial institution. Pay close attention to the year 1961 and check the reverse side for the D mint mark. Then, look at Monticello. Are the steps visible? Can you count 5 or 6 distinct lines at the base? If so, you may have a full steps coin. The next step is to evaluate the overall condition. Does the coin have luster? Does it lack scratches, dings, or discoloration? If you believe you have a promising example, consider sending it to a grading service for professional evaluation. Remember, it only takes one incredible find to change your fortune. People have literally discovered coins like this in pocket change, estate sales, and old collections passed down through the family. The 1961 D Jefferson nickel is living proof that even the smallest coins can be worth a small fortune. With the right combination of rarity, quality, and demand, one of these nickels sold for nearly $50,000, and there may be more out there waiting to be discovered. Don't overlook your nickels. Check them carefully. You never know when you might be holding a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, nickels, quarters, and other collectible U.S. currency that could be worth big money, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Until next time, happy hunting and may you find the next rare gem in your change. Welcome back, coin collectors and rare coin hunters. In today's video, we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and valuable discoveries in American coinage history, the 1977 no-mint Mark V cent nickel coin. This unassuming nickel has stunned collectors and experts alike with a current market value reaching an incredible $52,482. That's right. One single 5-cent coin could be worth more than a brand new luxury car. So, if you're holding on to a handful of nickels, this is one you absolutely want to watch until the end. Let's begin with the history of the Jefferson nickel series. The Jefferson nickel first made its appearance in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, it featured the bust of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. These coins were minted primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each with their respective mint marks of no mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But in the year 1977, something rare and mysterious happened. Now, here's where things get very interesting. In 1977, the Philadelphia Mint did not routinely use a mint mark. So a no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is not unusual in itself. However, the valuable 1977 no-mint Mark V cent nickel we are talking about today is different. What makes this particular coin worth tens of thousands of dollars is not just the lack of a mint mark, but its error, condition, rarity, and demand among high-end collectors. This coin is not just a typical Philadelphia mint issue. It is believed to have a strong die error combined with a full steps designation on the reverse side of the Monticello. What does that mean? Well, full steps refers to the clarity of the steps leading up to Monticello on the coin's reverse. Most coins struck don't have fully defined steps due to weak strikes or worn dies. A coin with 5 or 6 distinct steps is classified as having full steps and is extremely rare and desirable. This particular 1977 no-mint mark nickel was graded by a top-tier grading company as MS, 67 full steps, making it one of the finest known examples of that year. That MS, 67 grade refers to mint state, which means the coin has never been in circulation and shows no signs of wear. A 67 grade is extremely high, especially for nickels, and when paired with the full steps and no mint mark, it becomes a dream find for any serious numismatist. Let's talk about the current market value. In a recent auction, this very 1977 no mint mark 5-cent nickel sold for a jaw-dropping $52,482. Yes, you heard that right. The coin was aggressively bid on by collectors from around the world who understood just how rare and pristine this specimen was. This coin now holds a place as one of the most valuable nickels ever sold in modern history. So, what can you do to see if you have one? First, check your change jars, old coin rolls, and even inherited coin collections. Look specifically for any 1977 nickels with no mint mark. Then take a close look at the Monticello building on the reverse side. If the steps are crisp and fully defined from left to right with no breaks, you may have what's known as a full steps nickel. If you believe you've found something special, don't rush to sell it. Instead, take it to a reputable coin dealer or professional grading service. Getting your coin authenticated and graded is essential to determine its real value. A coin in high grade with full steps can skyrocket in value instantly, and having a certified grading label will assure buyers of its authenticity. But remember, even if your coin doesn't reach the $60,000 range, a 1977 no mint mark nickel with good detail and condition can still fetch hundreds to even thousands of dollars, depending on grade and eye appeal. That's why it's important not to overlook the small change that passes through your hands every day. Let's not forget the collectors who actively hunt for these types of coins. They are willing to pay a premium not just for value, but for rarity, uniqueness, and perfection. Coin collecting is a world of discovery and history, and this 1977 no mint mark 5-cent nickel is a shining example of just how exciting and rewarding that world can be. To wrap things up, if you're a collector or just someone curious about valuable coins, this 1977 no mint mark nickel is one you'll want to look out for. Its incredible value, rare strike, and stunning condition make it one of the holy grails of Jefferson nickels. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and never underestimate the value of a single nickel. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update about valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket or piggy bank. Stay curious, stay collecting, and we'll see you in the next one. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the hidden treasures of American coinage. Today, we are uncovering the mystery and astonishing value of the 1978 no mint mark 5-cent nickel coin, a coin that's been making headlines and catching collectors off guard. If you thought nickels weren't worth much more than 5 cents, this video is about to change your mind forever. Because one of these rare Jefferson nickels without a mint mark recently sold for a jaw-dropping $83,627. Let's find out how, why, and what makes this 1978 nickel so incredibly valuable. First, let's go back in time and understand the origins of the 1978 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Felix Schlag designed the coin, which features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. For decades, These nickels were minted in large quantities at several U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia, especially from earlier years, traditionally had no mint mark, but by 1978, things were supposed to be different. Now here's where it gets interesting. In 1978, the U.S. Mint struck Jefferson nickels at two main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. By this time, coins from Philadelphia still typically carried no mint mark, which was standard. But the surprising twist is not just the absence of the mint mark. It's the condition, die variety, and unexpected rarity of a particular no-mint mark 1978 nickel that sets it apart and pushes its value into the tens of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about how this specific nickel became so valuable. The 1978 no-mint mark nickel that sold for over $83,000 was in near-perfect condition, officially graded as MS-68 full steps. What does that mean? In coin grading, MS stands for mint state, and 68 is just 2 points below a perfect 70. Full steps refers to the number of visible steps on Monticello on the reverse of the coin. This is a sign of a very strong strike, and full steps are incredibly rare on older nickels, especially from the 1970s. Most Jefferson nickels from 1978 were struck with dies that had begun to wear down, producing coins with blurred or incomplete step details. So when a coin surfaces with full, sharp, and detailed steps and virtually no contact marks or scratches, collectors go absolutely wild. And that's exactly what happened in the case of this extraordinary 1978 no-mint mark nickel. How did it reach such a high auction price of $83,627? Simple. Scarcity, grade rarity, and intense collector demand. Out of the millions of nickels minted in 1978, only a handful have ever achieved this elite MS-68 full steps designation, and this particular example was among the finest known. When it came up for auction, bidders knew they were fighting for a once-in-a-lifetime chance to own a top-tier coin from a common year, and that rarity and high grade drove the price sky high. Now let's take a quick look at the coin market today and what this means for you. Jefferson nickels from the 1970s are usually overlooked. People toss them aside thinking they're worth face value. But if you come across a 1978 nickel with no mint mark, take a second look. Flip it over and examine the steps of Monticello. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe. If you can count 5 or 6 sharp steps and the coin looks uncirculated, you might just be holding something incredibly valuable. As of right now, in the collector market, high-grade 1978 no-mint mark nickels are rising in demand. Certified MS-66 coins can sell for hundreds of dollars. MS-67 examples can easily reach into the low thousands. But the real money is in coins graded MS-67 full steps, and especially MS-68 full steps. And that's where we find the top sale at $83,627. It's also important to note that even circulated 1978 no-mint mark nickels with above-average details and luster can be worth more than face value. So don't ignore that pocket change and don't assume older nickels are all worthless. The key is condition, clarity of the strike, and certification from top grading agencies like PCGS or NGC. Now let's go over what to look for if you think you may have a valuable 1978 nickel. First, check the obverse for the absence of any mint mark. It should be blank where a D or S might usually appear. Then examine the reverse. Count the steps leading up to Monticello. The more complete and visible the steps, the more valuable the coin. Finally, evaluate the coin's overall condition. Is it clean, uncirculated, and free from heavy scratches or nicks? If your coin meets these criteria, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Submit it to a grading service for a professional evaluation. Coin shows, dealers, or reputable auction houses can also help guide you through the process of appraising and possibly selling your coin. To sum it up, the 1978 no-mint mark 5-cent Jefferson nickel is not just a forgotten piece of change. It is a stunning example of how overlooked coins can explode in value based on rarity, condition, and collector demand. The record-setting price of $83,627 is a reminder that coin collecting is still full of hidden gems. And this one might just be hiding in your very own change jar. If you enjoyed learning about this extraordinary nickel, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into valuable and rare US coins. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a 1978 nickel and what condition it was in. Who knows, the next valuable discovery could be yours. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep checking your change and happy collecting. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today's episode is going to absolutely blow your mind. We're diving deep into the hidden world of one of the most surprising finds in modern American coinage, the legendary 1980 D-Mint Mark V cent nickel that has shocked collectors with its jaw-dropping value of $63,822. That's right, a 5-cent coin, a nickel from your pocket change, now worth over $63,000. Buckle up, because we're uncovering how this seemingly ordinary coin became a high-value superstar in the numismatic world. Let's start with the basics. The 1980 D-nickel was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D-Mint mark stamped just to the right of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin. In that year, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels for circulation. On paper, nothing about the 1980 D-nickel seemed extraordinary. It was made of the standard cupronickel composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, and carried the familiar portrait of President Thomas Jefferson designed by Felix Schlag. But as every experienced coin collector knows, the true value of a coin isn't just in the metal, it's in the details. Minting errors, pristine condition, low populations in top grades, and historical context all contribute to a coin's desirability. And the 1980 D-nickel is the perfect storm of these factors. Now here's where it gets interesting. Among the millions produced, a very small number of 1980 D-nickels were struck with exceptional sharpness, clarity, and a nearly flawless surface. These are the coins that survived decades without wear, scratches, or blemishes. But even more rare than that are the full steps examples, nickels where all 5 or 6 steps at the base of Monticello are fully visible and untouched. These full steps varieties are extremely scarce in this year, especially from the Denver Mint. Professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have documented only a handful of 1980 D-nickels in mint state condition with full steps. We're talking about coins graded MS67 or higher, which are nearly impossible to find due to how nickels were handled in bulk back in the 1980s. These coins weren't meant to be collector's items. They were loose in bank bags, subject to hits, scuffs, and pressure. The idea that one of them could survive in near-perfect condition is remarkable in itself. So, how did one of these nickels end up being worth $63,822 in recent years, a rare 1980 D-nickel in certified MS67 plus condition with full steps crossed the auction block and stunned the numismatic world? With intense bidding from private collectors, investment firms, and elite coin dealers, the final hammer price reached over $63,000. This sale set a record for the 1980 D-nickel and solidified its place as one of the most valuable modern Jefferson nickels ever sold. And that brings us to a crucial point. The market for modern error-free nickels in top condition has exploded in value. As collectors complete their Jefferson nickel registry sets, they compete to own the finest known examples, and when a population report shows that there are only 1 or 2 coins at the top grade, the value skyrockets. It becomes a battle of prestige and rarity. Owning a coin like the MS67 plus 1980 D-nickel isn't just about the money, it's about owning a piece of perfection. But what makes this coin even more fascinating is its relatability. Think about it. This coin started life in someone's change, maybe in a grocery store transaction or at a gas station. It passed from hand to hand like any other nickel. But somehow, somewhere, one of these coins was pulled aside, protected, and preserved. Maybe by a careful collector or maybe by accident. But today, It's a coin that tells an amazing story, from common circulation to elite collectible. Now here's the big question on your mind. Could you find a 1980 D nickel worth this much money? The answer is yes, but with a big asterisk. You would need to find a coin in absolutely pristine, uncirculated condition. That means no scratches, no wear, strong luster, and most importantly, the full steps on Monticello must be clearly defined. Only a tiny percentage of 1980 D nickels have this full strike. You'd also need to have it professionally graded and encapsulated by a service like PCGS or NGC, because raw nickels, even in beautiful condition, won't command record-breaking prices without certification. But here's the fun part. You can check your own change, visit local coin shows, search old bank rolls, or even go through inherited coin collections. The hunt is still alive. Every great collector knows that the next valuable coin could be hiding in plain sight. And with a current market value of $63,822, the 1980 D nickel proves that treasure is still out there, just waiting to be discovered. So, if you've got a pile of nickels collecting dust in a jar somewhere, it's time to take a closer look. Pull out your magnifier, study those Monticello steps, and pay attention to that shiny 1980 D. Because just maybe, you've been holding onto a fortune without even realizing it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about rare coins that could make you rich. Drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change, and let us know what treasures you're hunting for next. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck out there.